Sean Collins. I run a YouTube channel called Adventures with Motive. You'll find a lot of my... See, this is what I don't know what to say.
It's fine, we'll keep running through it. That was really good.
Yeah.
If you just kind of keep going with that, and remember, it will be editing, so if there's anything you don't like, it's not going anywhere.
Alright, well I've done that bit, so what else do I need to say?
I think if we run that bit again, so just say, hello, your name, and the YouTube channel, and just give us a bit of info about what the channel is, really.
Create jump from jump, really.
Yeah.
Okay, try again. Hi, my name is Sean Collins. I run a YouTube channel called Adventures with Motive. I started that about 4 years ago. I am currently in the process of building a motorised trike from a BMW 6-cylinder engine. I am also building a Land Rover stroke Morris Minor with a 4-litre V8. I have also done a restoration project, brief restoration project, with a C70 from the early 80s. Right, welcome back. Gave you 3 videos this week, literally in 3 days, to be honest. I just want to say thank you for the likes and the comments and the shares that you've given. Appreciate it greatly. Guy came round with all his camera equipment and was doing something for and he was recording me talking about all the projects I'm doing, which kind of woke me up to, damn, I've got a lot of work ahead of me on other stuff. So just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, I've been having a go at some polishing, but it really isn't going quite to plan. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm leaving little tiny irritating scratches everywhere. I just don't know what to do. I hit it with an 8-inch wheel with a brown clay, and then I hit it with a green clay with a small one, but the small one is really small. And it just seems to be... I mean, when I hit it with the green one, it came up better than it did with what I had left it on the red clay, but it's just streaky. I'm gonna have to watch some more YouTube clips of these people doing this stuff. If I can't get that any better than that, I think we'll have to sand it and paint it, which I didn't want to do. So I hit it with thinners after, got all the crud off. What I have seen of the YouTube channels, he then hits it with a polishing paste. But surely that ain't going to get those little irritating scratches out. I don't know. I've given it my best shot. A little bit more work to do on it. I'm going to do some more YouTube research. So that's what I've done so far today. Got a problem with the other slider as well. It keeps sticking. Don't quite know what's going on. Every time you hit the button, it's jamming up somewhere. It's really irritating. What to do next? We're not doing the roof, so I'll hit that, but I've got to get the bolt out of that ram underneath. There's a bolt there somewhere there, look. I've got to undo that, pull that further out so I can get further back. Right. That's as far as I could get it, for the moment at least. I mean, some of it is really quite polished, and some of it, if you look closely, I don't know if this camera's picking it up, but you can still see the grain that the material had when I first brought it in. Like there, for example, there's loads of areas that ideally I could do with going over it again with the brown for another couple of hours. What I should have done was sanded it all down, to be honest, but it's quite reflective. So yeah, unlike this side, which I haven't done, but you can see what I'm talking about, the grain, but there's a lot of scratches. I think when I come to this side, I'm going to sand that out, which is something I didn't do on this side. The scratches are still pretty much there, but that has got me thinking that I want to add more shiny stuff to the side of this truck to brighten it up a bit. So I'm going to have a hunt for some stainless steel, and if I can't find any, it'll have to be Ali, but Ali is a bit a lot of maintenance. But I'd like to put a panel here, continue it here, and then do the underlocker under there in a polished alley, and do the same on the other side. Meanwhile, I've still got to continue with this, and the only reason I haven't started yet is I haven't been able to figure out the plug hole. There was no point doing anything until I fully figured out that plug hole. I was going to do a revolving unit. Don't need to now. I've found something else, but I don't know how good the strength factor of it will be. So what we're going to do is right on the first, because we've got the toilet going in here, so that floor there will continue to there where my feet are. We'll probably put a plug hole here and then divert that down into a tank, and that way we can have a pipe run straight across sideways, so it'll move like that. And what we've got for the hose itself, and I'm probably not even going to need that. I don't know if the hose is going to be strong enough. I found an old Hoover pipe. It's very thin. Obviously if it starts rubbing on the floor it's going to eventually wear. But for now I'm going to use that. But if that gives out, which I am expecting it to, I'll have to replace it with something else. And at the moment I don't know what. I just need something that's got a bit of flex to it that can stretch. So I thought, well, if we put the Hoover pipe in, pull it to almost its full length, stretched out, because that's what they're designed to do, and then I can, well, it should do everything I need it to do. But that's how far this shower comes in to how much stretch it can give to what I need, if you see what I'm trying to say. I'm not explaining myself very well this morning, so yeah. We do need to establish that pipe. Once that pipe has gone in, or the mount here is there, and then I can start working out. I need to polish that side up first before I do the next stage, which is the seals. I'd like to get the seals done before I put the floor in, because I can get full access down here, you see, and full access up here. So I'd like to get that polish and work done, because I can push this almost right out and I ain't got to try and get the mop behind this area here. So we need to do a bit more work there, and a lot more over that side, because I haven't even started that one yet. I need some sand and discs for that side. This is the other side that I've started. I thought I'd done a good job until I put thinners over it to clean off all the muck, and it has actually shown up quite a lot of areas where I've sanded before polishing, which are quite bad. I can only go so far with this because I don't have a full range of products to do the job properly. Maybe I shouldn't have started this, but I can't spray, so we'll try and keep the spray work down to a minimum. We've got enough of that to do later. So polishing it, I figure, would, one, look nicer, two, if it took a scratch, could be easily repaired, and just generally look more professional. But I don't know about the professional bit. Anyway, next stage, we'll put the green wax in there now, mop over the top of that, wipe that down, and then we'll just put some car polish on it for the moment, like I did on the other side, until I can find an aluminium polish to put on. So this job is to be start again. This job is to be continued. Well, that has got a lot more work to go. I can't get that any better than that for the moment. Noise issues next door, blah blah. So we'll leave that for a couple of weeks. I've got it to a point now where I can pick it up again and make some improvements, but that'll be for another day, because I want to get some of that interior work sorted out. So that's it for the moment on the slide outs on the outside. Today, it's a beautiful day actually. Hoover pipe fits in there perfectly, so I'm heading off to B&Q later on this evening. Really random, but I put a window in the roof because I'm fed up with how dark it is. I've sealed it all up as best as possible. There's strips of aluminium underneath that this thing is riveted to. The groove that holds the rubber trim to hide the screws, I've sealed that all in. Once that's all dry, I'll get a flat Stanley blade and just trim that neatly. I'm not worried about the untidiness of the ceiling, and don't get me wrong, it's not great, but this roof, I made the mistake of painting this blinking fibre white. I don't know what the hell it is, it's horrible. It moves, and I've been standing on this and it's gone everywhere. It's just, God, I wish I never used it, and getting it off is going to be near on impossibility. So it's just going to have to stay. But the window itself, you're not going to see any of this. It's just there for one purpose only, and that is to get as much light inside the cab as I possibly can, or the habitation unit. The woodwork on the inside's got to be redone because I completely mashed that up. There you go. As you can see, definitely more light getting in. I mean, before it was so dark. I mean, it's like being in a greenhouse now. I still want 2 more. See, I was never going to put skylights in this vehicle because I was concerned about leaks and the wind ripping the skylights apart, because I've had that happen, and I imagine a few of you probably have as well. Sorry. But I have decided we are going to put 2 in, but we're not going to put camping ones in. We're going to put coach ones in, because they're some are glass, some are plastic, a lot tougher than the plastic muck that you can buy off the older caravans. And they always leak, and I'm just not, you know, we'll see where that ends up anyway. But there's my window. There is the messed up woodwork. You can all laugh at that, I don't care. I'm going to replace the wood anyway. I was planning to do something with it because it wasn't sealing properly where it needed to seal. I'm actually now debating about cutting up against that line there and putting a 1/2 inch piece instead. Simple reason is I need to make that piece a bit more solid than what it is. It's got too much movement. When this truck bounces around on the road, I know that this window, see that, look, it's going to move. So I'm going to rip that all out anyway, and I'm going to run some, like what I did here, I'm going to get some thinner ply, soak it, leave it for a few days soaking, and then I'm going to mould it around all the way, and then we'll sand it back to this level. Once we've got it to that level, we'll then either pull this one out or trim it a bit more, and then we'll lay in another piece over the top with the new hole, and we'll use a router where I can get the router to work, because it'll be a bit tricky up there, and we'll router it all out, and then we'll be good to go. And we should be able to fit a blind, not that we need anything because nobody can get on this roof, it's so high up, nobody's getting on there. The only thing is, if I park up near a block of flats or something, people will be able to see in through the roof. That's the only difference. But it would be nice to put a blind up there anyway, because if I am parked up and the sun is beaming through the back windows, it means it's going to beam through there and it's going to heat this up like a glass house. So I can shut that light out if I need to. Now, it's single glazed, it is going to condensate, that much I do know. There is a rubber seal and another groove here, so if it does condensate and become a problem, I'll look at getting some perspex cut, and we'll rip that piece of rubber out, and we'll cut the perspex down the middle so I can flex it and push it in one side, flex, push in the other, and then we'll run a piece of aluminium across the centre to join the 2 halves together and drill 2 to 4 very small minute holes as drainage, just in case it still continues to condensate. It's going to be cold, but I need the light. It's just too depressing. I've sat in here during the day and it is just too depressing. It's too dark. I thought with all these windows I would have enough light flowing in here, but because I put all these bulkheads in place, like here as well, it shut a lot of the light out. That one we can enlarge, but the rest we can't. We'll lose that when we put the walls in on the toilet room. Once I slid out, we'll have the 2 side windows that will allow more light in, but as I have been speaking about relining those walls anyway, we could end up losing those because they are a mess as well. So we've only got that window, the one that's hidden up there, plus the one through here to get light in here, and that has opened up so much. I mean, it doesn't feel claustrophobic anymore, so I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with the woodwork. I'm utterly annoyed with myself, but I was using a sabre saw to trim that wood out. I should have known better, really. I'm better than that. I managed to cock it all up, but it is what it is, a sham. but the window works and I'm happy about that. I had some thoughts about this. This came out of a Mercedes minibus, actually a luxury minibus. It has a carpeted surround, so if I cock up the woodwork on that, it won't matter too much because we have that to put inside. I've just cleaned it all down. I've just got to get rid of this sealant that has leaked on there. And I think I'm going to put that one smack bang in the middle, widthwise. And that should be enough for skylighting. It's there for two reasons. One, to get a little bit of air in, and secondly, to let the light in. And I think being a minibus one, that if you pop that up while we're driving around, it will survive, whereas a plastic motorhome one will just blow to pieces. So yeah, I think we'll put that in tomorrow. So we're back on the roof again, cut a new hole out, shove that thing through, seal it, rivet, if I can do that. I'm not sure how I'm going to get this to hold on, because I believe I will have to take the glass out to do this. Looking at it, if we can make a tool up to wind them off, take the glass off and cut the hole out, and then we'll put that it frame in and then put the glass back on, because we are not going to get a drill around this unless that glass comes out first. Yep, looking forward to this. Not the mess. We have the skylight in. I've got to trim the inside wood a little bit. Yes, I mucked that up as well, but that ain't too much of a big deal compared to that one, because there is an inner sleeve that actually goes on the outside edge of that rim, and that pushes up and gives you a nice, neat and tidy finish. And what I will do is put the white wood up, or the wood with the white PVC up, and then I'll cut a hole out, and I will then glue and screw that plastic trim. That is actually an emergency exit as well. If the lorry should tip over, that will smash relatively easy, shatter, and you can climb out. Not that I'm planning on turning the lorry over, but you never know. So I'll come out here tomorrow morning, see what it's like light-wise, even if it's a dull day. But when I cut the hole out, there was so much more light in here. So much more light. It was brilliant. I was going to put two up there, but I think it will just make that roof too weak, to be honest. So I think we're best just having the one, and to be honest, it fits in the middle there just perfect. We've got some cupboards to go up over that side, so yeah, I'm pleased. I like that. It does the job. That's much better. We now have a lot of light flowing in here now. It's actually a bit cold feeling, if you know what I mean, for all the windows, but it was a necessary. Although we do have that wide open, so that would be what feels cold in here. But you know what I mean. So what I will do with those at a later date, I've been thinking quite hard on this one. I'm not sure I can pull it off with this, but I'd like to make some shutters to go across. I've got that space there. If I make up 4 pieces of ply on sliders, I might be able to slide them across, and that one up there I can do a very large slider that goes across to here, that slides across. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. The ceiling, I'm thinking about building that over the top of the sliders, so when you slide that across, it's hidden under the ceiling. There's plenty of room there, and we can actually bring the ceiling level with that line there, see. So that's my thought process on that one. Just got to tidy the woodwork up. I really did muck that up. Really mucked that up. Blinking sabre saws, I hate them. It was the only way I could do it. I didn't have any jigsaws long enough to get through there. I could have used a handsaw, but I'd have still come stuck on the corners. Well, I've got to be honest with you, I can't be bothered to do anything. So I'm going to call this video. We had spits of rain. So yeah, update. We've polished this side as best as we can get it. We've attempted this side but got halted halfway through, so we've got more to do there. A lot more to do, to be honest. We've also fitted that, but with poor woodwork. And we've also done that one again with poor woodwork, but that one don't matter too much. So the work to do next week will be this shower. Still ain't done it. Wife's not well, so I'm gonna have to nurse her over the weekend by the looks of it. So Monday, Tuesday, we'll try and pick this up and go from there, where we can put a bit more attention to it, because I can't put my attention to it at the moment, and I know for a fact I'll muck it all up and I'll be doing it all over again. We've also got some footage to put up, if I've got enough room, for what I've done during the week as well. So we've had quite an eventful week. So with that, I'm going to disappear. So thanks for your attention. Thank you for your viewings, your thumbs up. Appreciate your comments in the previous video. And we'll see you next week when we finally do get started on all of that down there. Catch you laters.